back from holidays. The video you guys saw last week was actually something I shot before when I went away on holidays. So I've got to fix a few things around here. Some things got overgrown, like the Tiftuf. The green looks a little bit nasty. It lacked some water while I was away because I found out the sprinklers weren't working. Luckily we got some rain in between. So today I'm going to show you guys how things are looking, showing my plan of attack to get things up and running again as well. I might even go look at the Kikuyu as well. That thing is overgrown and needs a height reset and needs to be fixed up completely as well. Same with the Tiftuf really. So let's just get some things done. First thing on the agenda today is going to be fixing up the golf green, putting a few things in place to get it back up and running. As you can see, there's quite a few dry spots from when I went away. It's dewy this morning, so it's a little bit harder to see, but you can see there's just thin areas that have dried out and suffered in the heat of the summer sun. It's not too bad. It's obviously dewy everywhere and there's parts coming back because I've been back for about a week now and just taking things slowly. Just getting back into the jig of things. Yeah, it doesn't look great. There's some really bad spots like just here where it really dried out. That's just dry patch. It is not disease and there's heaps of new shoots coming up through there. When I first got back, I actually thought it was some disease, but no, it's not. So first thing today, we're going to get a mow on this area. And then I'm going to show you guys how it looks after mow because you'll see it a little bit better, and we'll talk about my auto process of getting things back. But it's a little bit overgrown as well, so we're going to get some catches off here. So the mower's set to 4 mil. The reason that is because it grew so much while I was away. So we've just brought the height cut up a little bit, which I'll leave there until this area repairs, just so it all comes back nicely. We'll give it a double cut today because it needs it, and then assess afterwards. So after that mow, the green is looking a lot better than I thought it was. A lot of those dry spots have repaired quite a lot because we had some rain yesterday and the day before. We had about 30 mil all up, and it's really bounced back after that rain, which is nice. Now I still want to kick this thing back in the guts and get it repaired. As you can see, there's still those darker green spots from the reinstate fertilizer we put down a while ago. That is because, as I mentioned, it was a larger prill that I used, which I used in winter last year, and it wasn't a problem, but since it's a bit warmer, obviously those spots broke down a bit quicker and left those green patches everywhere, which looks a bit nasty. And then the rest of the green looks hungry, where that hasn't been done. So we're going to put some fertilizer out today. We're going to put out some MP Spring Start, which is a nice mini prill, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Just to really kick this thing back into gear, I need to give this area top dress as well, because you can see where the dry spots were. We just need to get a little bit of sand there to help maintain some moisture and allow the bent grass to actually creep back into those areas as well. So I'll do that next week. Today I just want to get some fertilizer out and water it in. But I'll show you guys the fert and how much smaller the prill is. So here is the fert here. As you can see, that prill is tiny. So the prill means the granule size. So fine, which is what you really want for golf greens and lower cut turf, because you're not going to mow it up as easily. It's going to drop down to the canopy a lot easier once you put it out. So when I do my next mow, I shouldn't really pick up too much of this because it will drop down below the grass blades into the canopy. And if you're mowing anywhere below 8 mil at home, highly recommend you look at using a mini prill fertilizer just to help with that. Now, if you're up around the 15 to 20 mil, something like my Dominate Mini is going to be fine, but it's not quite a greens grade. Whereas this stuff here is a greens grade fertiliser. So I'm going to try this out today. I might stock this. I'm just trying it out. I want to see how it goes, get my thoughts on it, and then if you guys are interested, I can put it up for sale. But looking at a few options for greens grades fertiliser over the next little bit. We have got a few on there, like my bent grass one there as well, but I wanted to try out this MP Spring Start today and see how it runs. Let's put it out. So as you can see, the Kikuyu looks good, like it's nice and long and lush, but it needs a height cut reset because it is long, man. It is really, really long. So today I'm going to scalp it down really, really low with the 2653B, the ride-on. I'm not going to do it with the rotary mower. I'm just going to smash through it because I want to get onto the Tiftuf later as well. So I'll rip this down, but I would say this is up around, right, like seriously around close to 100 mil, like 10 centimeters. So it is long. It hasn't been this long since I moved into this place 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So scalp it back. There's going to be tons of grass coming out here. Get a bit of a height cut reset so that I can start squeezing it back down to a lower height cut. So if you have a problem like this and your lawn grows really, really long, the best thing to do instead of taking it down bit by bit is actually scalp it back. It's going to look nasty, I know, for the first cut, but scalp it back. It's going to go yellow. Get it down to the crown, so where the leaves shoot from, which is what is called a height cut reset. So I'm going to cut down today to about, I think it's 12 mil. With that mower there, so we're going to raise it back up to 15 mil afterwards with a cylinder mower, so my rover will raise it back up to from that. But we'll cut this down today, rip the guts out of it and get ourselves ready. It's not, don't be too stressed about doing this. You can do this with any grass type as well. You just need to be a little bit more careful with buffalo because it's only got your above ground stolons, so you don't scalp too low. I'd probably only go down to 15 mil at the lowest, unless you're pulling heaps of runners out when you're mowing. Yeah, but not hard to do, and I mean, it comes back quicker than gradually bring it down, because gradually bringing it down is basically doing the same thing, but you're just taking longer to do, and it's not going to look as good as quick either. So height cut reset today on the Kike, and probably going to do that on the Tiftuf as well. Man, there was some grass there. So this is what we were looking for. We're looking for it to look like this. Nice and brown. We can see a little bit of dirt underneath. Basically, so when we raise our mower up next cut, we're going to be getting the shoots that are coming off these crowns here, which is why it's so brown, because we've actually cut into the crown past the leaf blade. So that's how you reset your height cut. Super simple. Following up after that, it is good to keep a little bit of extra water up to the area just to make sure that it doesn't dry out, because you have stressed it out quite a bit. You can top dress if you want during this stage, if you feel like you need to level some areas out, or you got some bare spots you want some stuff to creep into as well. Or overseeding, even if you've got a cool season grass like ryegrass that won't creep into those areas, good time to do that as well. You just got to make sure you keep the water up to it if you're looking at overseeding. And even top dressing, need a little bit more water there as well, because it heats up a little bit quicker. But that's about it. All we're really going to do after that is just raise our hyder cut up. We don't really need to put any fertilizer on here because I put some down before Christmas and it's still growing really well. Good colour, and it's nice and healthy. So I'm honestly just gonna water this and let it come back, give it a cut, a little bit of a higher height, and she'll be sweet. All right, last job for the day. We're down the Tiftuf. As you can see, it's looking really good. Nice colour among the whole area. Very overgrown. As you can see, not as much as the Kikuyu, but I'd say that's probably up to about 50, 60, even 70 mil in some of the really thick spots, but healthy, man. Didn't water it all when we went away because it's rooted down, like it didn't need any extra water, which is awesome. It's really starting to creep sideways out here as well. This is a runner. Look how far that has gone since we've laid the turf. Like that's off the edge of the turf there. Like it's just shooting out like crazy. Really good. So, as you can see, there's a bit of seed head behind me here. So this is some seed head just here. So that's come up basically because it's so overgrown over this whole area. A few weeds out and about in this area. A little bit of paspalum, which I'm not really worried about. A little bit of paspalum there, a little bit of mallow in a couple of spots. Mostly weeds that aren't going to be a huge problem to get rid of in couch grass. But yeah, it's looking good. It's lush. So we're doing a hyder cut reset today, which is not a problem since it's rooted down. It's not going to be a problem doing this. But just look how thick this is. It's insane. So same thought process with this area as well. We're going to scalp it back. It's going to look pretty nasty for probably a week. Raise the hyder, cut back up, and then cut it at that little bit of a higher height. I'm going to aim just for around 12 mil for this season, maybe 15 mil. We'll go 15 mil this season. Need to give this a top dress as well, so I'm aiming to do a top dress on this area next week. Could have done it a couple of weeks ago, but we had Christmas, we went away. Just didn't get a chance to get it in. So just to get rid of some of the humps and bumps, but let's get a mow on it now because it's going to take me a little while because it's probably going to need a double cut because it's such a huge area. And again, we're cutting it at around that 12 mil mark right now, so let's get done. Well, my mic just cut out, so hopefully you guys can hear me, but man, I got some grass off this area. It took me an hour to double cut this whole area. That's how much grass there was. Woo! It actually didn't scalp that much though. It looks really good. It looks very good. Actually not as uneven as it looked before I left as well, so I think all that rain we've had has helped settle some areas. Helped some areas out quite a bit, because even mowing over it, it wasn't bumping around like it did a couple of weeks ago. So it does look a ton better. Probably needs another cut tomorrow just to really tidy it up, but looks good. Obviously a bit of scalping, as you can imagine, but hey, I was expecting that after not mowing it for like 2 weeks. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I know I did. Heaps done today. A couple of things fixed up. Looking forward to getting them looking schmick in the next couple of weeks. Anyway guys, thanks so much. Appreciate yous. And I'll see you all very soon.